Welcome back to Studio F from Fast Times Willy B. We're reviewing Cuckoo. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell!
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Kory back. Kory, how we doing?
Good.
Good. You get a haircut?
No, I just did it different. No, I got a haircut, Will. You could probably tell from Trap that I got a haircut.
Yeah,
because the picture's not in that video.
Yeah. I love technology, right?
Yeah, no. I got a haircut. Single ladies. I am single ladies.
Last video we saw you on camera, you had the Wolverine.
yeah, I did. Yeah. In hindsight, I'm like, there's some things that I would have done different, but I wasn't mad at the final product. No. It's kind of hard to see in the video.
I liked it. Somebody pointed it out when they were like, "I watched your video. Your guest had the Wolverine hair."
Really?
And I was like, "Yeah, that's what he was going for." It was awesome.
Like, let's go.
So you got one.
I have a picture of that on his. Yeah. I should have posted that on my story or something like that. It's too late.
But
anyway,
today,
Cuckoo.
We'll be reviewing Cuckoo. Tillman Singer is the director, writer, and guitar for the music in this movie, which was cool to see in the credits. Hunter Schafer in the lead role.
Yep.
And then, we got Dan Stevens, which we were talking about before this, Abigail. So kind of a big year for him, among others. But we'll hop right into the good. And I think the most glaring good is when you talk about filmmaking, I think from a filmmaking standpoint, this was, like, on the technical side, was very well done.
Yeah, I agree. Like, cinematography,
the sound design was
very good.
Yes,
Shout out sound department.
Yes.
God damn.
Sound was really good. The cinematography, like you said, was great. I loved the way it was shot. The camera work was really well done. Just everything on the technical standpoint was stunning.
Solid, yeah. Pretty solid. Great camera work, too, for sure. I never got, bored with any of the camera shots.
No.
I never really got bored in general.
They keep it fresh. A lot of different techniques and shot and angles and all of that. But
there is one part of that I'm going to put in the map, but we'll talk about it.
That's fair. And then the other thing that really stuck out was acting. I thought Hunter Schafer was fantastic.
Hunter Schafer is terrific, man. I don't know if have you seen Euphoria?
Just the first episode.
She is fantastic. Truthfully. And then also Songbirds of Snakes and fucking Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah.
That name's so long, I hate it.
Songbirds and Snakes.
That's my favorite Hunger Games movie, and the name is stupid, but she's terrific in that as well. Not in it that much, but
that's the thing, like, before this movie, if you haven't seen Euphoria, you've only really seen her in supporting roles, very minor roles. So it was, interesting to see her take on a lead role in, a thriller horror movie that the trailer really doesn't give you much information about.
No.
Other than that, she gets beaten up.
She gets her ass beat in this movie.
But she kills it when it comes to line delivery, emotion, body ache acting. Like, you are convinced that she has been put through it by the end of this movie.
Forget about that kind of thing. And then you watch a movie like I don't know, Mortal Kombat. I don't even know if this is even true of that movie. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But just some movies, not all actors can pull that off very convincingly because they go, that's not what I would do if I got stabbed.
I mean, by the end of this movie, she's walking out with this limp and her arms in a sling, and then she just collapses over. And you're convinced that this isn't acting. You're convinced that she was beaten and battered this entire movie.
I tell you what, we were watching this with our buddy Michael, and towards the end there, I remember I leaned over to him. I was like, she cannot catch a break.
No.
She got her ass beat. Every corner, too. I honestly don't think she's hit, every major section of the movie, at some point she gets injured.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, once she hits the glass in the hospital and cuts her head open, from that point on, it's there's no longer 10 minutes going on without her getting another beating.
And if you don't think it's her fault, she fucking ran into that door.
Yeah.
Clearly she is danger prone.
Yeah.
You cannot blame that on the mother.
I mean, like, that happens. 10 minutes later, car accident. 10 minutes later, she's in the basement, or not the basement, but she's in that, like, swimming pool bedroom. And, like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another time, she tried to run out the window.
Yeah.
Hit her arm on it.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You have a second shoulder.
Yeah.
Shoulder bump it with the other shoulder.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, no, she was fantastic.
She's an idiot. Oh, the character. Yeah, the actress, Hunter Schafer, is terrific. Yeah, and I also find it interesting, like, I don't know, like I said, I mostly know her from Euphoria, which in that show, where, I mean, we're out of our element here talking about this, but usually it seems like she plays, like, trans women characters. It seems like now she's just transferred over to just playing women characters. And it's
Which
not
she
brought
said
up.
she wanted to do.
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely a lot less distracting when you just don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I definitely prefer it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
No, she did. Dan Stevens was great, too.
He's a delight. I'm liking him more and more every time I see him.
Yeah, I liked him a lot in Abigail. He was, kind of that funny asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, he's a similar role. He has
He's a creepy
that
asshole.
unsettling funny asshole in this one.
He's still kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah, but he definitely has that more creepy side to him, for sure.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely got that, like, Stanley Tucci, Lovely Bones kind of vibe to him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just kind of creeping. And just even, like, good camera work again, like the point where he's like touches her shoulder and moves over the other shoulder. I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah, that was like, because when you kind of get an unsettling feeling him from, when they roll down the window and they talk the first time, but that's when it really kicks in, is the shoulder scene.
That poor guy.
The camera work was fantastic.
Cannot wear a mustache and not look creepy. Yeah. Even in Abigail, I'm like, this is a creepy guy. Yeah. Kind of a weirdo.
Yeah, but he was great.
For sure.
And everybody else, too. Everybody in the supporting roles was great as well.
Was it Saskos?
It's quite a last name.
Second. He's the villain of The Equalizer.
Yes.
Sakos? It's something like that.
Sokos or something like that.
Sokos?
Yeah.
It's probably
he's uncredited in Star Wars Episode 2 and 3.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who the hell does he play?
Somebody, something the lesser or something like that. Uncredited.
He probably plays some nothing ass character that even to this day I don't care about.
He's also
that's interesting. I didn't.
He's also in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, he plays the scientist.
Yeah,
you're right. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That makes sense. Okay, I never realized that was him.
Yeah.
He always plays some weirdos, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That guy plays some weird guy. Because his character from The Equalizer, that's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is kind of a weirdo.
Yeah.
But great. Honestly, great in everything I see him.
Yeah, and he was great in this movie, too. Obviously, once again, in a supporting role playing Hunter Schafer's dad in this movie. He's just... You can't really read him.
No, he's a good dad till he isn't. And they're like kind of a dick.
Yeah. And then I guess we'll get into this in the math, but there's something about his character that I'll say in the math. But
like the car wreck, I was like I know you're mad because she did just try to steal money out of her first job or whatever and run away with a stranger, but she almost died.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a lot of parents would still be a dickhead after that, especially when earlier, like I said, he was a nice dad. So what happened to that dog? They showed one shot of the dog getting out of the car, just hit me.
Fair.
You don't see the dog one more time after that.
I wonder if it had anything to do with the woods.
Probably ran off into the woods.
We probably should have been told.
You know what in the map. But maybe there's a scene that they cut where after she opens the thing and the dog jumps out, he just runs straight in the woods and you never see him again.
Yeah.
Honestly, that might as well be headcanon because you don't see him again.
Yeah. I like the music.
Music was terrific.
Yeah. And, Tillman Singer had a finger in that as well, which was cool to find out. But
yeah, terrific score, terrific soundtrack.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Other than the misdirect I had with the one song she was playing on the guitar, I was like, oh, it's the Ronettes. No, it was not. But
the score kind of gave me like an It Follows kind of feeling a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not exactly, It Follows is a little more Stranger Things, but it's like a It was like an It Follows mixed with like kind of a totally thriller with maybe like a Fear Street or something like that. That's kind of what it reminded me of. But anyway,
it was good though.
Good stuff. Good soundtrack. Good score.
And overall, I did enjoy the story. It's complicated and weird at times, but
and not completely explained properly.
That's fair too. But it's still fun.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I was never bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take a movie like this any day. I'll say it to my go-to. Instead of watching a Fast and Furious, which I consistently like them all, you watch it, you know what you're getting, yada, yada, yada. I'll take something like this every day.
Yeah, something new, unique.
Because now it's like, I like watching stuff like this because I hate when somebody asks for a comparison for a movie and I have to pick from generic whatever. I'd love to be like, oh, have you heard of Cuckoo? Because no. Yeah. Is the answer to that. Yeah. Probably not.
Probably not.
It's another Neon film, by the way. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, Neon.
It's terrific. Neon's putting in some work.
Yeah, they are.
Right now after Long Legs and what was it that Long Legs beat to be the most popular Neon movie of all time? It's something popular too. It's like Parasite. I mean, it's obviously not Parasite, but it's like something of that ilk where it's like I didn't even know who Neon was when that movie came out.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it is.
Yeah, like, I really didn't even know about Neon before this year.
Long Legs was my, like...
Yeah.
Proper... but here's the thing, though. I don't feel bad about that, because me and you watch how many movies a year?
Yeah.
Each movie has, like, 10 fucking logos before it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to remember all these.
You still haven't seen Late Night with Devil? There's, like,
I still haven't
25 logos that go before it, and it's...
Isn't it weird how the smaller budget movies have more production logos usually?
It's like,
have you noticed that?
For a second, I was like, okay, this has got to be a joke now. And it just kept going. I was like, there can't be another one. Another one. But
that's terrific.
But yeah, no, Neon, obviously.
God, that must really cut into that hour and a half runtime.
Theater was pretty filled tonight. Like,
I was shocked.
Not sold out, but like
for a movie,
considering Deadpool and Wolverine's still out, and
it's a movie like this. It's lower budget.
Yeah,
like it's not a blockbuster, and it's a Thursday night.
Yeah,
most people don't even know movies come out like a day early.
Yeah,
or a night early, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah,
because usually it's us.
That's fair.
Yeah,
unless it's like a Deadpool or Wolverine or a Twisters.
Yeah,
But
was Twisters packed? Oh, all right.
I mean, that was the summer blockbuster.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That was this year's, what's it called? Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, yeah. I wonder which one's better. We know which one's better.
Big sequel.
Yeah, big legacy sequel. Both featuring Glenn Powell.
20 plus years in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Glenn Powell.
There you go.
He sells the bill, man.
Now he's selling it. Yeah. And God, imagine anyone but you without Glenn Powell. Oh, not only is it, not only are a lot of people not going to that movie and seeing it, like a bunch of people did. Mm. You're cutting that people by probably at least a third. Mm-hmm. Plus, that movie is bad without him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Anywho.
But Glenn Powell. No.
But Glenn Powell.
But no, Cuckoo, I mean, it like you said, I'll take one of these movies any day because it's unique, it's new, it's fresh. Mm-hmm. It's not, doing the same thing for this 8th time.
It's got an aesthetic, too.
It does.
I like a movie with an aesthetic.
It's definitely, like, modern because you can tell by the phones, but it has a feel of older to it.
For sure. There's a lot of that retro, like, dark wood kind of look to everything. There's a couple fucking, like landline home phones that are used in this.
That's where I was confused because,
some older cars, too.
Yeah. She kept calling her mom, and, I mean, it's set in Germany, so, like, obviously German architecture's got that, older taste to it, but, when she'd call her mom and it would go to voicemail and like you could tell that it was an answering machine, I was like, what year is this? And then she's at her job and she's scrolling through on her phone. I'm like, well, it's obviously modern. Mm-hmm. She's got a smartphone, but
they're going for the timeless thing, which is an aesthetic that I love, but it seems like everybody's now trying to do it.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it feel like the I don't know, what made it special is kind of starting to leave a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Because even Long Legs is set in the past, like, obviously, but it still has that kind of timeless, you know, era, whatever. So.
Yeah. But I liked the aesthetic, too.
For sure.
It was good. It was a vibe.
For sure.
Is there anything else that really stuck out to you in the good?
I mean, like we talked about it. You know, like I thought the sound design was terrific.
Yeah, it was.
I think there's a couple moments that are funny, which I didn't expect.
Honestly, yeah. The one that really stuck out to me was Hunter Schafer.
Yeah.
And I think a part of it's in the trailer. But when he answers, "You're here because your family's supposed to be," and
after blowing on the woodwind,
and she goes, "That's a fucking weird way to put it."
Yeah. And then what was the funny thing that happens at the end? Oh, the door.
No,
she's trying to get out the door, and the daughter,
Alma.
Well,
opens it for her.
She was great. She was pretty good too for a young actress.
Obviously
I didn't
not
get her name.
no speaking parts, but
not easy for a kid to do.
You don't need to speak to have an impact. That's
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of tension in this movie.
Yeah.
More than I was expecting. There's a couple of jump scares.
The jump scares are good too.
Caught me pretty good.
Yeah, the mom.
Oh man,
I could tell it got you really well. It got me not like court level jump, but it was
court
like
level jump.
A little whoa.
Oof, yeah.
You're ready to fight off if you need to.
The first one, whenever she's on the bike and she's being chased, that one kind of had me like, whoa.
Because that was the first time we get to see her.
Yeah. Which scared the shit out of me. But the one that really got me was the one where she's in the house and she slowly peers around a corner, and then it's the cut, the music. What an execution.
Yeah.
Got me so good. That actually scared the piss out of me.
Yeah. No, there were a few good scares for sure. And I mean, the tension was felt a lot, especially when it's nighttime and you start hearing the screech and you know it's coming.
Yeah.
There's literally, when they were in the lover's nest, it was the police, I think his name was Eric, and Beatrix were in there, and it kept panning to her brushing her hair in the hallway. I literally went, oh fuck. I was waiting for it, like a jump scare to happen, and
that was definitely the one where you're like, oh,
here it comes.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
And then also, I didn't get his name, but the guy that plays the detective, I thought he did pretty good too.
Yeah.
Whenever he did his like crazier stuff, I kind of got Nick Cage about it. Where I was like, all right, a little overacting a little bit.
That was another funny scene. When, speaking of the detective, when she throws the wig out and he starts laughing.
Oh yeah,
and he's like,
it's just a weird movie.
Like, ha! And then he starts laughing because she actually killed the mom.
Yeah, which is, again, it's just kind of weird. Yeah, but it was fun. It was funny.
Yeah,
I remember everybody else laughing.
That was good.
Yeah, good tension for sure. I liked it. It's good.
We'll hop over to the meh. I don't have anything in the bad, so this is kind of where I'll...
wait. One thing. Wait, I kind of... for the good, sorry. Something that we kind of skipped over, but now looking back, I should put more emphasis on that. Good editing. Editing was solid.
Yeah.
I thought the editing was really, really solid.
Yeah.
Some things lingered a little more than others, but it was in just the kind of way that suits me and doesn't get me bored.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember specifically the shot where... What's her name? Beatrice...
Yeah, Trixie is what they called her.
Trixie or whatever. I keep wanting to say like Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter. But yeah, Trixie's going out on the date or whatever. And, Hunter Schafer's like, and she sits there and she's typing. And it sits on it for a minute and then it cuts to her being asleep. But like, I remember watching that and being like, I feel like I should be bored right here. But I'm not.
That's fair.
So I thought the editing was really, really solid.
For sure.
The editing was terrific.
So off to the men now.
I'm a good cinematographer. Cinematography. Sorry. Yeah.
The meh. The first act, I'd probably put in the meh. You were talking about how like it didn't really bore you. The setup was a little slow.
That's okay. You're right. I forgot about the first act.
Once the chase happens, from there on, you buckle up.
From the moment she works at that desk, that night center. Yeah.
But like the moving in and all of that, you're like, I was sitting there and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna hate this movie.
Yeah, you know what? I actually did have that feeling too, because I got a little more chatty than I usually get, and I was like, "Yikes!"
Well,
I forgot. It was just because it was just set up weird.
Yeah, I kept looking at Rosie because I'm like, Rosie's gonna hate this movie, and I asked her if she wanted to come. I told her it should be good. It's not looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
The setup was a little.
That's right. And again, dog. Where'd the dog? What the dog doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that. It's not only just slow, but it is just like, yeah. Even the dialogue is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know. It just seemed like it was a lot of things not happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I get. You have to set up your premise.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like you also could have set up the premise in the intro. You probably don't need the intro, actually, in hindsight. It definitely sets you up for mystery for like what the fuck is happening. But yeah, breaks the pacing pretty bad. You're right.
The other meh I have is we kind of get this feeling towards the end. The detective says you can't trust your parents, and then like nothing ever comes of that. We never get to find out did the mom and dad have any play in what was going on, or
That's a good point.
I wish we had a resolution to their characters.
I would definitely agree that I felt like most of the characters didn't really get a resolution that, except for like the detective and Dan Stevens characters. I feel like they got like pretty much exactly what they deserved, and you kind of knew where that was headed.
Yeah,
where that was heading from the beginning. But like for a lot of those characters, like especially the parents, I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And it felt like they were setting things up for like a twist, like the mother is, the detective's old wife, or the detective's wife's offspring, or something like that. It felt like they were setting that up.
Yeah.
And just felt like there was a little bit of missed potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would just say like it gets a little messy in the end.
Yeah, that's one of my things.
The other glaring meh, but
that was in my which kind of goes with what I just said, but it is messy.
Yeah,
especially there towards the end. A lot of things unresolved, a lot of questions.
Yeah,
unresolved. Some questions answered, but in a sloppy not even like sloppy in a way that was like you didn't try, but just like it was just sloppy.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, and then also like. Some of the line deliveries, like I had a hard time picking up theirs. Did you find that too?
Yeah.
I think it was because accents and they should have overpronounced a little bit. Because I was like, God damn, what are they even saying right now?
Who's your dialect coach?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's really it. Like, there's not a lot to complain about with this movie.
No,
I'm sure you have a few more things that maybe I'll agree with.
Even though I said great camera movement in the beginning, and I still do stand by that. And I guess this is more of an effect, but it might be camera movement. I don't know how they did this. But the scenes where, they would be having this, what would look like a seizure or whatever. The first one, especially, whenever Hunter Schafer's in a room playing bass, I felt nauseated whenever they did that. There was kind of like a camera bouncy situation, like when the camera shaking.
Redid time?
No, not that. Yeah, yes, but it's the shakiness of it. But I remember that specific camera movement, like it had this like a bouncing left and right thing. I literally about stood up and walked out of the theater because I felt like vertigo and nausea.
Really? I don't think it really bothered me.
I just something about it. I was like, whoa, I feel like I'm gonna be sick. Also,
the first time that happened, the rewind. Mm-hmm. I was like, what the hell is this movie?
I know. Me, you, everybody in our row was like laughing, but it wasn't laughing like this is stupid. It was like laughing like, when the fuck this wasn't advertised?
Yeah.
What's this? I was like, are we Madam Webbing this?
Yeah.
Are we about to Madam Web?
Yeah, so.
And even that, like, again, like is interesting, but not really explained a whole lot.
It isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely could have explained
the premise.
Oh, yeah. They could
a little more.
They could have dove in a little more. Like I said, it was still interesting, unique, and a wild ride. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of fun watching it, but there could have been a deeper dive into some things.
For sure. There were just certain questions I had like that. The moments where people are like throwing up and whatever. I think they did explain it at one point, but they explained it in a way that I'm like, I do not get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Why are people throwing up?
Yeah. This is a very, like, the type of movie where it's like, make the meaning you think it is and just run with it type of thing, I feel like. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I want to rewatch it.
Is there a right answer?
I want to rewatch it and figure out if there's a right answer. Because it's like the throwing up thing. There's a thing where they're like, well, this is like the first time the mother and the offspring are going to be this close together and whatever, and that's going to start the whole chain reaction of things. So I'm like, so if they don't interact, does that mean she's never going to do the thing?
Yeah.
And so certain questions like that, again, like what happened to the parents? Why did the mom start getting sick?
Yeah.
They gave her a sedative or something. They gave her medicine. That was after she already started feeling sick.
Yeah.
So really, the only thing they really explain, if we're being honest, is that it's some sort of ancient species being thing or whatever that it impregnates somebody else with its offspring while they're at their honeymoon retreat in that specific cabin or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then basically they raise that child until whatever fucking age. That's like all you get, really. Yeah. Like, why did Hunter Schafer get sick? Was she pregnant? What do they even do, Will? Whenever they do the thing, what are they doing?
Like the goop you're talking about?
Any of it. What are they doing?
That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. In hindsight, I'm like, I understand this less than I thought. Like, the scene where Beatrix or whatever was lying in the bed. She went up there. Yeah. She fucking... did she lay goop on her? Was that her impregnating her?
I don't know if the goop ever got to Beatrix, though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it did because it was in the carpet.
On the floor, yeah.
And also, like, didn't at some point Dan Stevens was like, well, you fumbled the bag on that. Why? Also, why was he there if he knew that was what was going to happen? Yeah. Why was it affecting him? Why wouldn't you put on earmuffs? Yeah. Because you know it's coming. Yeah. So I don't really get it.
Yeah. I don't know. There is a lot of question marks on, like...
It leaves me more interested than annoyed. But I am annoyed.
It's more of like not the premise, but more of like just more background knowledge.
It's just the execution of it. Yeah. Actually, no, not even... Like, even the execution is fine. It's just... It just could have used more explanation. Yeah. Yeah. Like, because they really rush through that, like, this is what's happening, and boom. And it's like... Yeah. And I don't really... Yeah. Like, I'm going to have to look it up. Yeah. That's pretty fucking annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I still had a fun time with it, though. Yeah. Definitely not as good as some of the reviews, but I still like this movie.
Yeah, I still liked it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you had in the meh?
No, what I just said probably should have been in the bad, if we're being honest. But
no, that's fair.
But no, nothing else in the meh, I don't think.
Did you want to hop to the bad, or do you have anything? I don't think there's really anything bad with this movie.
I think we can hop into the bad. Okay. I'm going to say that thing that I just said, now that I think about it. Well, you know what's bad? I don't get the movie. I get the movie. I just don't get what the goal and motivation was. I get like it was to get the little girl.
I wish we had more background information on what the ancient being was.
Well, it's like I get it was to get the little girl to be the mother, whatever, to replace her. But beyond that, I literally do not know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. Mm-hmm. What do you want to leave off with, Cuckoo? And what do you give it out of 10?
It's a good movie that I'm just... it's not like... With Interstellar, specifically, I'm using that as an example. It was a movie that I understood at first, but I could tell there was a lot that I missed that I would need to go on a rewatch to get the full picture. This movie, I'm not sure I can get that with. Truthfully. Yeah. Because it wasn't that I wasn't paying attention. I was. I still want to give it another shot, just to. But I don't want to say it like that in that way, in a negative way. Like, I need to give this another shot. Like, I still liked it.
Yeah.
I had a good time with it. I got enough information I got enough to get through the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really need anything more. But I'm interested, which is also a good thing in itself.
For sure.
Like we said, a lot the technical aspects are on point. I think
Yeah.
the technical things about this movie are solid. I think there are some writing plot holes and errors and things like that. But I still think this wouldn't be a waste of time. But you cannot go in and not pay attention because it's going to make no fucking sense.
Yeah. What do you give it out of 10?
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to give it a 6.5. But if we're going solid ratings, I'd rather give it a 7.
Okay, that's fair. For me, I agree. This is definitely a movie that you've got to be dialed in. Mm-hmm. It provides some good scares, a little bit of comedy here and there, some great acting, and like we've already mentioned, the technical stuff is on point. I'm gonna go 7 out of 10 for this one. I still enjoyed it. I have questions. I agree. I think I want to watch this a second time and see if there's anything more you can catch. It's also something that I'll probably look into via Google.
Sure. Sure. We love that Google.
Yeah, we do.
We don't love that Google Corp. We love that Google.
We love that Google. But it was still a solid film. And like you said, I'll take one of these over an 11th Fast. So
yes.
So,
absolutely.
I don't touch back to that franchise as much because I don't like those movies consistently. But I agree. I'd rather have this than 11th Fast movie. I'd rather have this than about 8 of those Fast movies. So, sorry to
still have 2 more.
Sorry to any Fast and Furious fans that are butthurt I said that.
Christopher Nolan, you just hurt his feelings.
Well, his movies are far better, so there I made his feelings better. But yeah, I mean, still worth the watch.
Absolutely, I would say worth the watch.
But yeah, Cuckoo.
I could tell whenever I said
big connection to Cuckoo movies with Neon.
That's true. Yeah. I could tell earlier you wanted to do that, but I was like, he can't figure out how to do it with one hand. Yeah. So you just like, what the hell is this?
It's a little weird. I just gotta dye my hair gray and put white face paint on, and I could probably pull off a little. I mean, I don't look as ugly, I hope, as the makeup that's all over, like the prosthetics that he has all over his face. But Halloween costume idea. We could go.
Anyway, that'll do it for Fast.
We could do a long leg Halloween. We should all go as long legs.
That would be. Now that's an idea.
So you got a white face.
I mean, yeah, it's only fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. I'd have to wear a wig though. Yeah. I'm not getting by with this.
No, you would definitely have to wear a wig. I mean, just about everybody in our friend group would have to wear a wig outside, like maybe Brennan.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess
Jesse's hair is probably too straight.
Yeah. And it's also just kind of long in the back, not really anywhere else. But I guess that's fair. Is that a mullet?
I don't know. I don't think it is, but...
You see what I mean?
The lady at the concert thought it was.
He's a cutie patootie.
Yeah. That'll do it for Cuckoo, Kory. Oh, God. How's it going? Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, please check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow social links down below. And as always, we appreciate you for anything you do. We will talk to you all soon. Peace.